Alaska, 2:43 in the morning. The storm appears out of nowhere. Massive lightning strikes begin crashing across frozen mountains, while the sky slowly turns an unnatural color, electric blue. Radio signals begin failing, phones lose service, and in the middle of the darkness, dozens of gigantic metallic antennas point directly toward the sky. Then something happens that immediately terrifies nearby residents. The clouds begin moving strangely, too fast, too synchronized, as if something invisible were manipulating the atmosphere itself. And for decades, millions of people have believed installations like this hide one of the most disturbing secrets of the modern era. A technology capable of manipulating storms, earthquakes, communications, and possibly even human behavior itself. The project has a name, HAARP, and around it emerged some of the largest conspiracy theories on Earth. Because while scientists insist it is simply an atmospheric research program, others believe it could be something far more dangerous, a technology capable of altering the planet itself. For decades, HAARP has been surrounded by mystery. The facility is located in Alaska, far away from major cities, surrounded by snow, mountains, and isolation. And maybe that isolation is exactly why the paranoia spread so quickly. Because whenever a gigantic installation appears connected to military systems, electromagnetic signals, atmospheric experiments, and advanced scientific technology, conspiracy theories become almost inevitable. Some people believe HAARP can manipulate weather systems. Others claim it could trigger earthquakes. And some even insist it may interfere with human emotions through invisible frequencies. And although the scientific community overwhelmingly rejects these claims, the theory never truly disappeared. Because the less people understand a technology, the easier it becomes for collective imagination to transform it into something terrifying. You are entering Crazy World Facts, the place where disturbing conspiracies, technological mysteries, and secrets capable of changing your perception of reality become impossible to ignore. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare yourself. Because today we are entering one of the most unsettling theories ever connected to modern military technology. HAARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And officially, its purpose is studying Earth's ionosphere. The ionosphere is an extremely important layer of the atmosphere connected to communications, radio signals, satellites, and electromagnetic activity. According to the official explanation, HAARP sends high-frequency waves into the ionosphere to study how it reacts. But for millions of people, that explanation never sounded reassuring. Because once you hear phrases like ionospheric manipulation, electromagnetic transmission, high-frequency waves, atmospheric interaction, it becomes incredibly easy to imagine something much darker. Especially because the installation remained linked to the US military for years. And that is exactly where the paranoia exploded. The most extreme HAARP theories started spreading rapidly after major natural disasters. Every time there was a massive earthquake, a devastating hurricane, giant wildfires, unusual storms, or strange atmospheric phenomena, the internet immediately started talking about HAARP again. Millions of people began connecting events. Videos appeared claiming certain clouds looked artificial. Others insisted earthquakes had been triggered deliberately. Some even claimed governments were weaponizing weather itself. Because honestly, the idea is terrifying. Imagine a technology capable of manipulating gigantic storms, altering atmospheric systems, creating droughts, or generating climate disasters across entire regions. That scenario feels straight out of an apocalyptic movie. And maybe that is exactly why the theory never truly died, because weather itself is already one of the most destructive forces on Earth. Some theories claim HAARP could use electromagnetic waves to alter the ionosphere and affect atmospheric systems. Others insist it may interfere with global communications. And the most extreme versions even talk about mind control, emotional manipulation, and secret geophysical weapons. And while scientists overwhelmingly reject those ideas, the paranoia continued growing for years. Especially because very few people truly understand how advanced atmospheric technologies actually work. And when a technology feels too complex for the general public, conspiracy theories spread much faster. Because uncertainty creates fear, and fear creates massive conspiracies. Think about this. Most people will never visit a facility like HAARP. They will never fully understand ionospheric physics. They will never study atmospheric science. And because of that, it becomes incredibly easy to transform a scientific installation into something almost apocalyptic. But the most interesting thing about HAARP isn't only the conspiracy itself, it's what the theory reveals about human psychology. Because every time a massive disaster happens, millions of people desperately search for explanations. And sometimes, natural explanation feels too terrifying or too chaotic to accept. That is exactly why conspiracy theories become so powerful. Because they transform chaos into something seemingly controlled. A plan, an operation, a hidden force. And psychologically, that can feel less terrifying than accepting nature itself can destroy everything without warning. Maybe that is why theories like HAARP survive for decades. Because they exploit one of humanity's deepest fears, the feeling that invisible forces exist far beyond our understanding. As the internet expanded, HAARP became a global obsession. Viral videos, conspiracy documentaries, entire forums analyzing clouds. People claiming strange sounds appeared before earthquakes, and millions becoming convinced governments were hiding something enormous. Some claimed HAARP caused hurricanes, others blamed it for massive wildfires, and others connected nearly every unusual natural event directly to the facility. Because whenever a theory combines weather, military technology, invisible signals, natural disasters, and government secrecy, the result often becomes massive paranoia extremely fast, especially online. Because the internet amplifies fear faster than almost anything else. One strange video can reach millions within hours. One disturbing theory can spread across the planet in a single day. And the more terrifying a story feels, the faster it goes viral. And maybe that is where the most disturbing part of this entire story begins. Because even if HAARP probably cannot control the weather, the theory reveals something much deeper. Humanity has an enormous fear of technologies it does not fully understand. Especially when those technologies are connected to governments, military systems, invisible frequencies, satellites, and catastrophic natural phenomena. Because the more complex a technology appears, the easier it becomes to imagine it hides something monstrous. And honestly, the existence of gigantic facilities capable of transmitting massive amounts of energy into the atmosphere already feels unsettling to millions of people, even if science provides rational explanations. Because fear rarely works through pure logic, it works through emotion, and HAARP contains every element necessary to fuel global paranoia. Most scientists insist HAARP is simply an ionospheric research facility, and they are probably right. But the real reason this theory continues surviving is not just the antennas, not just the storms, not just the electromagnetic signals. It's fear. Fear of invisible technologies, fear of secret governments, fear that systems may exist capable of altering the planet in ways ordinary people cannot even comprehend. Because the more advanced technology becomes, the harder it becomes for millions of people to distinguish real science from terrifying possibilities. And maybe that is the true reason HAARP still generates theories decades later. Not because it controls the weather, but because it represents something much deeper. Humanity's fear of losing control over the world around it. If you enjoy disturbing conspiracies, technological mysteries, and theories capable of completely changing your perception of reality, subscribe to Crazy World Facts. Because sometimes, the most terrifying stories are not the ones proven true, but the ones that feel just believable enough to create doubt.